So this is the 5th episode of my Ultimate Team series, and we start off by heading straight into a Division Rivals game. We just move on and hope I continue the form that we've been in, despite losing our last game in the last episode. But the team we do come up against is a strange one. It's a full Dutch team, Ajax team really, and we do end up getting a penalty really early. This game was actually really weird, and I'm sure in the game we do end up getting 3 penalties altogether and an early red card. But watch what happens next. Saved by the keeper, and the opposition moves forward rapidly. I play a little 1-2 there, but I make a mistake and pass it straight to his player, through to Neres, and it is 1-0. We lose after having a penalty. However, the opposition team does have a man down, and that does play a huge part in the game. It's going to have to play the full game with 10 men, 1 less than what I had. We move straight forward from kick-off. Rashford plays it wide to Lucas. Lucas runs wide, cuts inside, and there we go. That's the second penalty of the game already. So I've had 2 penalties within the last 5 minutes, and I've conceded a goal. This time I wasn't making the same mistake. However, I do score, but that is a very, very pathetic attempt as a save from a keeper. Then, another defensive error from my opponent. That's really what cost him the game. Out to Lucas, and it is a simple finish. My opponent made many defensive mistakes, and I think that's what cost him the game really. He wasn't very good in the defensive area, and as you can see, he couldn't really do much about that. Rashford, like I said, trademark goal. Brilliant finish from him. 3-1. And here Rashford gets it again, gives it wide to Lucas. Clivert actually. Clivert goes out, and there it is. 3rd penalty of the game. And I do give this penalty to Clivert because of the weak objective that I mentioned last episode on getting the Jumbo Rare Players pack, 100k pack. And Clivert, no power, just simple finish in the corner, 4-1. And it's looking like the game's really done and dusted. And going into half time, the stats show that I have thoroughly dominated. Had many shots off target, and in the second half, Martial and Ali linked up to score. I stopped showing you the goals of the opposition because there was just too many goals in this game. As you can tell, they scored another one and made it 5-4, but Clivert has the ball here, cuts inside, goes outside, does all type of tricks, and the opposition makes another defensive mistake, and Rashford scores again, making it 6-4. Rashford scores his hat-trick. Brilliant finish again from him. And here comes Rashford again. Rashford just in and out, tries to chip, but comes to Martial, and Martial scores. Really just try to get a bit cocky with the Rashford chip, but either way, still scored. And that doesn't end up being the last goal of the game. As you can see, I come forward again with Ali, and Ali, brilliant finish, 8-4. And as the commentator just said, maybe that red card for De Jong at the start cost him the game. The opposition does get a goal back, but obviously doesn't make much of a difference as we get more points for our championship qualification and really head forward in Division Rivals and make huge progress. As you can tell, we move closer to getting to the rank 2, which is probably what I'm going to aim for, as and from that I actually do get a loan Antonio Valencia because of Rashford and Martial's assists Never realised it was an objective, but I got it pretty easily just from that. And we move into our next Division Rivals game. Hepa Arrizabalaga needs a contract, so we do give him that instantly, and we do end up giving him a shield. Just thought maybe he should, and probably make him play a bit better. No really issues, and Socrates also needs a contract at the end of that. And I do end up applying a squad fitness. I do have a few of them from packs, so I thought may as well. I also add in Antonio Valencia's. If I've got him, I may as well put him on the bench and possibly use him. And now we head into our second Division Rivals game of the episode. We move ahead, ready up, and move into the game, and the team we come up against is a very strong Premier League team again. However, the formation is 3-4-3. It's a very attacking formation, and because I've got a front three, it can cause huge problems. A 3-on-3 defenders. It comes to half time, there's no goals. We end up being the better team. However, Mane's pace from the bench, 1-0 in the 87th minute, and it looks like the game's done and dusted. However, in FIFA, when a goal goes in, the team gets a kick-off, and kick-offs are extremely overpowered, and always have been, and probably always will be. And as you can tell, Clive crosses it, and Rashford scores it in the 92nd minute. 1-1. And that is just the end of the game. 92 minutes played and 2 minutes added on. Game over. You can tell that is how the game ended. And it wasn't a bad result considering we conceded late. Obviously would have preferred to win, but still, it's good enough. It wasn't a loss, and it moves us forward. Do lose a bit of skill rating, but it doesn't really affect us in general. 390 extra points and moving closer to rank 2. Here's a few players that we sold from our packs last episode. And now we move into our third Division Rivals game. We ready up and we move in. Opponent size changes kit twice. And the team we end up facing, I remember being an amazing team, and it was an extremely difficult game against this opponent. His fullbacks were weak, but as you'll see in the game, one of his fullbacks ends up being a huge part of his team. We do score first in the 11th minute with Jorginho, which I believed, oh, I'm going to have an easy game here, it's going to be an easy win. However, it wasn't the case. And as you can see, in the 26th minute, Dele Alli moves forward, puts a cross in, and it is a simple finish for Dembele. It's 2-0, and it's looking like, oh, I will have an easy game, and this will be a big win for us, high score. But not long after kick-off, Mbappe's pace is too much. My tackle didn't seem to affect him, and 2-1. And he does some weird celebration straight after it. And shortly after, it's a corner for the opposition. And like I said, the fullback Kezawa reaches high and scores to make it 2-2. To move into half time, we were 2-0 up, and within 10 minutes we end up being 2-2. And the match facts show that it is an even game, and it probably does deserve to be neutral. And it ended up being neutral in the end. We had the better second half, but didn't manage to capitalise. And it's, yeah, 2-2. Another draw. Seems to be a running thing now, getting draws. A few more points to get us closer to rank 2, but still not close enough. And in the next game, I didn't manage to record the team or the match facts for the first half. But anyways, as you can see, 1-0 and an icon louder. Remember this team being extremely difficult to play against. Clive and Ali linked up, and it's 1-1, just pretty much straight from kick-off. As you can tell, the commentator exclaims that their lead didn't last long as it was a kick-off goal. Typical FIFA. And that's how the game ends. To be honest, with the teams I come up against, draws aren't too bad after all, but I do need to get wins away and score a goal with Clive for the challenges. And as you can see here, I've purchased a few Super League players to complete more weekly objectives, and I play the Squad Battles games offline, as well as getting Korea, who is also another Squad Battles player, and I just play the games offline and off camera on Squad Battles and get the challenges done. Not really much of an effect. And we get a mega pack, and I think it's a rare gold pack. And these two packs are actually really big, as you'll tell. In this rare gold pack, you can see Walkout straight away. It's no inform or nothing. It's Italian. It's a goalkeeper. It's GG Buffon. Good pack. I don't realise he's untradeable straight away, but he's never really going to be in my team unless I somehow change it up. I'll get 2 icon centre backs or 1 from Italy, but still good player to have in a club, good player for an SBC. And in this pack, I mean, it's a much less usable player than what Buffon was, but it's still a good player to get. It is a domestic man of the match, Nexa, from starting out. Another good player pack, but that is going to be the end. Please like, subscribe, and that is it.